Okay guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going over my favourite Switch games versus my least favourite. So first of all, we have Rocket League, the only game which I don't own physically, which is in my favourites. So, as many of you may know, Rocket League is a game where you're cars and you have to knock the ball into the goal. And recently, I've really taken a liking to it, especially since it's free on the Nintendo eShop, and it's just really fun to play. And yes, you do run into opponents who will absolutely thrash you, but you also get the learning curve as you go along. The overall design's great, the music's great, all of the sound effects are great. My only little complaint is that the intro is very laggy, but once the game loads and runs, there's a very little issue. So now we're going to go through all of these, why I like these games, and then we'll be going through games which I don't like as much. So first, of course, we're going to start with Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I will be starting to play again soon. Also, on a side note, Hades has been ordered, so that's going to be the newest game of this collection very soon. But yes, so Fire Emblem has 4 different routes plus the DLC, and frankly, everything from the character design, the missions, the stories, the character arcs, the music, and even everything in between, from interacting with your students, exploring the monastery, doing battles, which is like a turn based is it RPG? Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's just a whole medieval aspect. And yes, the game can get very challenging for newbies, but since I beat the game like 16 times, it's fairly easy for me. I still have hiccups on certain stages, but since I've not played this game in months now, which is shockingly long for me, I'm going to be starting it again soon, and let's just say I cannot wait. And this is proof. It's all the way at the back compared to all of these other games. Next, we have Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. So, Hyrule Warriors is the sequel to Breath of the Wild, but of course it's set 100 years in the past. To not really, well, this will be spoiler territory, so I do apologise. But basically, you do in the end take down Ganon, so none of the characters who are dead in Breath of the Wild actually die. But there was so much fan service with this game that, frankly, I cried. There was one scene where I cried, and if a game can make you cry, yeah. But yeah, everything from the music is amazing, gameplay's amazing, the whole design's amazing, but the only issue is frame drops. They're really bad with this game, so you will notice it when you play it, but if you can look past the frame drops and you're into Zelda, highly recommended. Next one is the newest one in my collection as of today, Monster Hunter Rise. So, I was a bit torn whether to actually buy this or not, but I eventually did the pre-order, which came with this metal keychain, another metal keychain, and the limited edition metal case. But, I've put over 100 hours into Monster Hunter now. Just for reference, I'm an insect glaive main, and I'm just unlocking the apex fights in normal hunts now. And as a Monster Hunter game, it is challenging. It can get very hard, very brutal at times, especially when you're doing the hub quests, which are meant for more people. But overall, gameplay is amazing once you find your weapon, which you feel comfortable with. The customization is on point. You can customize your dog, your cat, and your character to your heart's content. There's a lot of armor choices. Music is very good. It's all based on Japanese architecture and theme. And so far, we've had some massive updates so far, including 3 new monsters, Teostra, Kushala Daora, and Chameleos, and we're also getting the final endgame, hopefully soon. But with all Monster Hunter games, Capcom continue to release new content and monsters down the line, so who knows what this game will be. Will it be as jam-packed as World is? Possibly. But as the game is now, I still think it's highly worth it. Yes, the pros can beat it in 2 days. But, I spent over 100 hours just to get to the last major fight. And it was well worth it. Also, online with this works really well. But you have to be careful because Monster Hunter players are very petty. Then we go on to Smash Bros. Ultimate, frankly one of the best games by Nintendo as a whole. In terms of Smash, of course, you got a variety of characters and stages, and a lot of great music. It's not really a skill-based game if you're playing casually with friends, but as my friends know, I tend to try hard, and one moment I can be absolutely godlike, next moment I'm terrible. But yes, this game honestly is mostly enjoyed more with friends, and this is why I play solo sometimes, but when I get to play with Ignite the Fire, Flynn, or Edward, it's always such a laugh. Next we have Everspace. So I've not put as much time into this game as I wanted due to Monster Hunter. But I will say Everspace is a very good rogue-like experience. So the concept of the game is that you just basically have to make it as far as you can without dying. You'll get set different missions whilst you're on your flight. Maybe take down a criminal, or find some space species and analyze them. But just be warned, it can get incredibly difficult. There's some moments which are just easy. There's five enemy small ships, and you can easily take them down. But then you might get 6 or 7 massive cruisers appear, and you're basically dead. It's not as highly rated by a lot of people, but if you're into rogue-style games and space as a whole, I think it's at least worth a shot. I took a risk, and I was not disappointed. Next, we have Breath of the Wild. Whoa, what can I say? First of all, Breath of the Wild was my first ever Zelda game, and I got it for really cheap, about £15, and the retail is about $60, which is about $70. And, well, the map is amazing, and what captivated me was just, you can do anything you want, whether it's just running around the map, riding your horse, climbing mountains, doing shrines or the quests, picking fruit or side missions. It's totally up to you what you do. There's no linear story. It's just do what you want, do it in what order you want, and you'll be fine. I will say the music isn't intense, but it's really mellow and just calming, especially when you're exploring the vast open spaces of Hyrule. And honestly, I couldn't be disappointed by it. I sometimes return to it when especially I need just some calming moments, and just fighting monsters is just a blast. Then finally we have The Witcher Wild Hunt, which was £35 from CX, but I did get it cheaper because my dad gave me some money. So that's how I got these two for about £30 in total of my it was about £20 of my own money. But yeah, Witcher, I was not sure what to expect. I had heard of the Witcher games, but frankly, Witcher 3, I see why people call it the best game ever. Best game of the generation, and the best game of the 2010s. The map is enormous. The story and character development is top notch. Everything from fighting and just learning is just insane. And yes, the story is slightly linear. You do have to follow most of it in a certain order. But at the same time, you just have your own freedom to explore the cities, explore the villages, the mountains, fight monsters, loot. You can do whatever you want. Side quests. There's so many side quests. And of course, the 2 massive DLCs which really add to the Witcher story and Geralt as a whole. Also, it's good for new players because it's written so well that you don't need to play the other Witcher games to get a hold of the story. And yes, each interaction with characters is fully voiced, which I also adore. Now we're going to move on to my least favourite games, which I own. Of course, it'll be way smaller than this. And of course, I do have other games, but they're like in the middle. Like, I like them and don't enjoy them as much. But these are games which I really do not like. Okay, so here we have the few games which I really did not like much. I might also include Mario for a single reason only. But first of all, Minecraft. So it's not in terms of the game which I don't like. It's because the game is so unstable that it constantly crashes numerous times via playthroughs, during playthroughs, and even just loading. Sometimes it will crash. Even with the update which was sent out, Minecraft still hasn't been fixed, and it's really put me off the game. So it's not in terms of Minecraft itself, it's really just because of the optimization, which makes it a fail for me. Next we have Immortals Phoenix Rising. So I know the community has been growing for this game, and some people even say it's better than Breath of the Wild, but I highly disagree. So when I first played it, and I've put about 25-30 hours into it, I loved the open world. I thought I will say, the map is beautiful, and everything about the characters and that is really pleasant. But then this is where things go downhill. Controls are a bit odd. Combat isn't very fun, if I'm honest. Some of the missions don't make sense. To get to the top of Zeus's Peak, it's so hard. 90% of people have to use a tutorial just to make it up. And then the dungeons, they last too long. An hour and a half for some of them just to make it through the puzzles, just to get to the boss. And that's what happened with me. I got to the final boss in this game after spending 2 hours in a dungeon, found out I was severely underleveled, died, and had to restart the whole thing. And I did beat the final boss in the end, but for that reason, I never wanted to put myself through 1.5, 2 hours just for a dungeon, just to make it through puzzles. And they aren't even obvious puzzles. You need tutorials just to make it through them. Like, yes, it's good to have a challenge, but at the same time, it needs to be improved upon. And this is the only game so far, to my memory, where I haven't bought DLC yet. I will for Hyrule Warriors once it comes out. But there's like 2 DLCs for this, including one which gets rid of the whole Greek theme and makes it Asian, which is kind of cool actually. You know, Chinese history, Chinese monsters. But it just isn't worth it. As I said before, people love it. But to me, Breath of the Wild is king, and I'm not sad that I paid for this. Like, I might put it through its paces again in the future, but right now I'm not a fan. Next we have Mario All Stars. So these next 2 are probably gonna tear people a bit, but my issue with Mario 3D All Stars is the choice of the second game, Sunshine. I know Sunshine is a classic, but I honestly didn't enjoy it. Playing through 64 and Galaxy though, these 2 are amazing. What they should have done is changed Sunshine with Mario Galaxy 2, because this would have been a game which I would have put a lot of time in. I've already put roughly 5 hours into it because, frankly, Mario doesn't hold my attention anymore. And mostly I buy these games just to have them here in my collection and to play them on the more boring days. But yeah, this is the main issue with this game, but everything else about it is spot on. And then we have Mario 3D World. My issue with this game isn't really anything major. It's just Bowser's Fury. You would expect it to be a challenge, right? And longer, right? No. It's very short and shockingly easy. I don't know if that's just because it's me, but other people who I've asked have found it really easy. And even with the 3D world itself, it's not much of a challenge. I know Mario isn't meant to be a challenge, and plus I would want it to be longer, but I know Mario games aren't very long to even start with. The saving grace for this game though is the multiplayer. Playing with Ignite the Fire was always fun. Hope to do it again, but my solo trips for these two are over for now. But I do eventually want to revisit these and put some more time into them. I will also mention Rayman and Color Zen. Color Zen, just not played it forever. Same with Rayman, so I can't really say anything on those two. Not played Rayman in over a year. Same with Color Zen. But I will say Ding Dong for 50 pence. Stunning game. But yeah, so these are the games which I do not like. Hope you enjoyed. Well, didn't like for certain reasons. Help me. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. Still trying to reach 1.7k by the end of the year. And yeah, peace, guys. Boom.